Good morning, our viewers, and a warm welcome to the second day of the Technical Committee sittings in Choma. My name is Nchima to take you through the proceedings particular day. Yes, the sittings which began yesterday here in Choma continue, and today we are having fighters as well as the civil society organizations and the heads of government departments and parastatals making their submissions. I'm sure behind me you can see a number of people just walking into the council chamber at the civic center ready to take part in the proceedings, as the technical committee members has already walked in to start the proceedings. Yeah, now talking about the technical committee here in Southern Province is being led by Ms. Eva Jala, who is a former permanent secretary under the Ministry of Justice and also served as permanent secretary under different ministries. Yes, Madam Ms. Jala is a long-time contributor to constitutional processes. She is being deputized by Mr. Isaac Manza, who is the executive director of the Civil Liberty Union and chairperson of the consortium of CSOs on governance. So Mr. Manza has been a voice in the constitutional matters for over 2 decades. So we see that the composition of this committee comes with a wealth of experience. Other members on the committee include Father Cletus Mwila, who is a Catholic priest and he's been a priest for the past 36 years. He also has a background, as he happens to be the founder of Runya in Livingstone and also serving as CDF chairperson in Kalomo and Sinazongwe. Also on the committee is Mr. Frederica Wamundila, who is the founder of the Disability Rights Watch. So we see that persons with disability are also being adequately represented. And Mr. Wamundila also has a wealth of experience on working with human rights issues, both within the country and across the borders. Also on the committee, we have Mr. Gregory Chifire, a lawyer and accountant by profession. And lastly, but not least, we have Madam Isabel Mukelarai, who is representing the civil society organizations. She is from the Civil Society for Poverty Reduction. So Ms. Isabel Mukelarai is a committed advocate for public accountability, transparency and civic education on constitutional matters. So we see that this technical committee was well selected. They come with a wealth of experience. So the proceedings are set to start with the national anthem playing in the background. So today's session is actually particularly important because we have freedom fighters making their contributions, and we know that freedom fighters have a wealth of experience as well. They have been with this country since its independence, some of whom even took part in the struggle of Zambia's independence and could have taken part also in the development of the original constitution that we are currently amending. So indeed their contribution to this constitutional amendment process remains paramount. Their participation actually ensures that the constitution making process is inclusive and reflects the voices of those who have fought for the country's freedom, those working closely with communities and those implementing policies on the ground. The involvement of these groups strengthens accountability, transparency, and citizen ownership. We know that every citizen has the right to participate in this particular process. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land as it governs the operations of the country. And now we are talking about one of the key issues of the Constitution, which is Bill 7, and most of it has to do with the country's electoral processes. And it is important that the general public gets to participate in this important exercise. So we look forward today to hear some of the submissions that will come from the freedom fighters, the CSOs, and indeed the heads of government departments and parastatals. But this will not just be exclusive to those 3 categories. We will also be having the general public are free to walk into the civic center and also make their submissions. The technical committee did emphasize yesterday that they are eager to see a people-driven constitution. So this entails that every Zambian has the privilege to participate in this important exercise. And we have seen that provincial administration has also been on hand to support this particular activity. Also present here is Southern Province Permanent Secretary, Dr. Namani Monze, who has received the technical committee as they were walking into the council chamber, and he worked closely with them from the start of this activity yesterday when the traditional leaders were making their submissions. So we really look forward to another exciting day packed with a number of submissions, and we have seen that there is indeed an overwhelming attendance. The council chamber is fully packed, as a lot of people have been able to turn up in numbers. They've responded to the call, the public announcements that have been made, that people can make their submissions on the constitution making process. Yes, and this exercise continues even tomorrow and the other day. So tomorrow we are also going to be here at the council chamber receiving submissions from the general public, and then Thursday it will be extended to the districts through the virtual platform where people will be allowed to make submissions virtually using through the council chamber, as different satellites have been set up to enable people make their submissions. We'll now be taking you inside the council chamber so that you are able to follow through the proceedings from start, and then we'll be giving you highlights on what is happening from time to time. For now, let's follow through the proceedings into the council chamber.
Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to the sitting of the Technical Committee on Amendments to the Constitution of Zambia 2025. I want to thank you all for sparing time out of your busy schedule to come and be with us this morning.
Ikuti mwalyaba akubajindija kuti mumirimu enu mumapakayo enu mwatulambali pere mwasala kuyobanduswe kutupemizezo ukubambulula mulawo.
This demonstrates your devotion, love and attachment to your country.
Eji kitondeha ikulisiha gwenu ali mwaluyando domujisi kujisi jogwana.
And for that we profoundly thank you. Further, allow me also to express my gratitude to the Technical Committee for accepting to take up this great responsibility.
Lino ao amundizumiye kuti ndirumbe basintanze bahikuhulamulao ibagazumina ikugweza imulimo oyo.
Who are here to consult with us with a view to propose amendments to the Constitution of Zambia, which will improve our governance and system structure.
Ibali wano bahikuhulamulao ibabola kutubulane manu tubuyanye buhanye babwethere mizezo Yesu. Mumuzezo waguti balondole imulao ikuchita kuti ugagonye ikusumpula ibwende bwa bumpangaliko mubulelo ibwajisi akulondola bukutausi.
As I conclude, I wish to encourage the people of Southern Province to turn up in numbers and give their submissions.
As you may be aware,
Mulimbo mungagamuhi
the government of the Republic of Zambia on the 2nd October 2025 constituted a technical committee on constitutional amendments.
Ibulelo bwa chisi chino ya Zambia mutu mumwezi wa Oktoba yakapambaka bunga kapasintanzeka kuhula imulao
to undertake a consultative and inclusive process
mugutopweza imulimo iwakubulana manu gakunyina usaraulwa kumuntu uli wonse
of amending the Republic Constitution.
Ikubambulula imulao iwabulelo ibwajisi jino ija Zambia.
This process is intended to strengthen constitutional democracy.
Inzira igeme ikuyumya irwangulugo gwenderanya abwamba mulao.
Enhance citizen participation.
Ikupamayanyo kuli bahigisi bachikalire gutika batola lubazu.
And ensure that the supreme law of the land
Agubona masimpe igutimula omunene iwajisi.
reflects their aspirations, diversity, and evolving governance needs of the Zambian people.
Gaugonya gutondeha ijimboni ija kuyanda kwa bahigisi alimwambo bayanda igulerwa alusumpugo.
May I therefore emphasize
Muligago awa andisindaire
that any system of governance
kuhumbwa inzira ya bulelo
can only be efficacious
igonya buyo iguzunyana
cannot be efficacious
tigo iguzunyana
without the effective participation
gutinati batola lubazu ja kusindinganya
of the people and the upholding of the rule of law.
Ibantu alimwaberere gutimulao baulemege wenderehegwe mulimbo weregwe gulela.
And that's why
Nkagambo gago
the technical committee
ikapunga bakahiguhula mulao
is consulting widely the people of Zambia on these constitutional amendments which are part of our terms of reference.
gabola igubuyabuya mpojela kubantu babulongo ibwagisi ja Zambia kagambo gago ila agatika milayo itwembera mu buberesi bwesu
with a view to consolidating democracy and constitutionalism.
Mumuzezo iwagwamba kuti tiyumye irwangulugo alimwi amulao.
Enhance equitable representation and distribution of resources across the country and to promote inclusivity, accountability, and effective representation in governance systems and structures.
Igutegwa gubegwa abana ilubono ijagwelelana alimwi gube gwimininwa ijagwelana muhibera yonse here gwimininwa igisi yonse mbojalirwe gubulelo.
As you are aware,
Bulimbo muhi
the technical committee has 25 members.
Igabunga gabahiguhula mulao galigisi bantu bakere bali magumi obiro amusana atala.
We've divided ourselves into 5 groups so that we can cover the expanse of this country.
Twagalyandanya mutubela tulito sanwe kujita kutuhambe ikujihumpa igisi ja Zambia.
And so far the response has been overwhelming and supportive.
Lino potwe endere no kusiga potwe irino igutembererwa gulabujula alimi gulagurwa iya.
We, as this group before you, have been to Western Province.
Lino kabunga gali kunemboli yenu gali kujogo ijagumbo.
We were welcomed overwhelmingly
Bakatutambula amanzo bilo okuya kujogo.
by the Lutunga and the
Bamwami
Gambela
bakubulozi.
in Kuta.
Bamwami bakubulozi.
And the people of Western Province came out in multitudes, both at the physical meeting and the virtual meetings.
Lino ibantu bakujogo jagumbo. Bagabola mubunji kumuswangano wantongola meho. Alimwa babaya mutokati kukuwa bana mutu sabwi abalo bagali banji.
To contribute to the development of their charter.
Igutegwa batoye lubazo mugulihulira imulao wabo.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished participants,
Mama matata no mulemegwa abahikutola lubazo.
as a committee, we have structured our program in such a way that members of the public will be at liberty to make their submissions either physically before the committee or virtually.
Lino twali apawula muhibeera yakuti noba hikutola lubazu mukusatula mizezo enu kumakanyambo mulombo yakuti mulaobe mulagonya ikupa mizezo enu jantongola meho na mulagonya ikupa imizezo enu igwinda muyipe mutusabwi.
Or you can use our website or send emails or written submissions.
Mulagonya kutusebenya inzira jitoka bikaga sabwi ikamulumbe wenda mukulaba kwaliso ikutuma imuzezo enu.
So we'll be sitting in Choma for 3 days.
Lino muno mujirikitija Choma tulakala kwa mazubo 3.
2 days for physical submissions, and 1 day we'll be connecting all the districts through virtual presentations.
Lino kwa mazubo obiro ino olija ntongola meho na ntongola matu katulangana ikwabuzo abomwe tunolangani naji pego.
May I reiterate once more
lino awandi jibika ntangalala alimwe
that this is a people-driven process, people-driven.
Ndambe kuti nzira eyi mbantu bayitonka mbantu bayendere ya beni.
This is your process.
Eyi ni nzira yanu n'obantu babulongo bwa jisi.
Whose success will depend on your participation
Lino
in making submissions.
ikuzwitirira ikwa mulimo oyo kuledali ndinywe mizezo njomu yakupa.
I know you have now looked at your terms of at our terms of reference.
Lino ndili ikuti mwali wita imbilayo itwembera.
But let me indulge myself by taking this opportunity to go through the terms of reference with you so that you may seek clarity if you so wish.
Lino awa amundizumiye kwamba kuti ndibwe mbaga nikuzubulula milayo itwembera ikuchitha kuti nako lipo muyanda ikusalalirwa mundibuye ndichisalaye.
And you shall discern from the terms of reference that they are not overly restrictive.
Lino tuyakusala mpona awamba kuti uzakumilayo itwembera tajambi kuti kulimpumwa bikwa mujikona na pulipumwa maniki higwa.
Even if you look at term of reference 1, which deals with the electoral process and the electoral system,
Mwalanga mulayo okusanguna ulanganya ibwende bwa kusala.
it's broad to cover so many issues that touches each and every part of the constitution.
Imulayo wa muzira mutanzi uli jisitumpangaliko tunji itwendereha ibwende bwa kusala mbobwere kubambo tulomboya.
And then we have specific issues that we want to draw to your attention so that we are focused.
Ndilangene amujezo wagambo ikati kwamba ulwa ikalangene awanda wala inyiga.
I'm on delimitation.
Ikwanda wala nyiga kwenda amba ko.
Our submission or delimitation is this one.
Buli nyiga impati buli ne Choma.
I'll give an example of Choma Central constituency.
Choma district na central Choma ejinoti party.
Choma Central constituency is big.
Nitwalanga jaliberera ikuti Choma eji janda ulwe kutaligira kumawati kusigira ku constituency.
Our submission is to delimitate Choma Central constituency and also wards in Choma Central.
Kambo hindamba bobo.
Why am I saying this? Why are we submitting this?
Hindambira bobo nda jana wamba uti muhibera inyi. Irusu mpogo talubasigiri kubantu.
Development, the reason we are submitting this, development is not shared equally in some areas because of the vastness.
Alimi jipa wamba uti baya basololi bagari kusolwa muhogo. bama councillors alimu ababo ibate kwamba MP tabajigo yikuzinguluka masena manji kamba ulisha gomwe kusaidi balatongoga ibaka basala.
The reason is those people entrusted with the leadership represent the people, be it in the council or in parliament. People complain that they don't visit all the corners because of the vastness. Yes, they need to delimitate these places.
Mboba tasiki mu masena amwe ibagasalwa agulizumi akuti bayakuberegera abantu. Ibantu batalika kuzwangana ababa yabali kusalwa. Poneji tajipibulemu aguswanganya hulumende amujezo wanjiyo.
Many people are complaining, especially in those areas where they are not visited. And this has caused a lot of friction between the leaders and the people. And this defeats the purpose or the mission of government of taking development closer to the people.
Muligago jitwende yakwamba kutegwa iguti bantu batalika kutongoga iboneya kwamba kuti ibu mwitabugo.
When people are complaining, it means something is lacking.
Ibantu kuti banyema tabanyone.
When people are upset, it's not good.
Ino kuti itwa ini ninyigego solwa agumwe goba muntu wendereya agumwe goba muntu wendereya kokuti rusumpugo lurasiga masena wonse.
If the limitation is to take place, it means people will be represented and development will be shared equally.
Alimwi guligago imumasena ago saulwa gulalangwa wamba kuti guya ubusena gulere tejigolo.
When the limitation takes place, there are other considerations that will take place. For instance, schools.
Alimwi awalo gujogo jiribo guya jirere te ijibadela.
Another good example is clinics or hospitals. There will be considerations to put health facilities.
Ino kuti goba biyojibera jo mwenye gagiri mpati masena mitagwa ikuzanama yaje nakuba kusumpuga.
If one area is managed by just one person, there will be some sort of biasness. Other areas will remain or will lag behind.
So guligago atogalangihe igwamba uti igaere de uti gazidire gwanda wala minyinza. Igute gwarusumpugo lusige mu masena wonse.
Nebo ina lyangu ndime Wilson Mudenda. Ukalamu yoma muno. Inchito yangu ndime coordinator Guma Freedom Fighters. Ono ndalumba nyonse mbomunga mwatuswanga nanoba kurusaga amasi ayindene. Nkambo nkuchomwa ida kuno guli penzili mwi. Ili andika kutililangwe. Hene penzili mana buti.
We have a challenge I would like us to address. And how are we going to address this challenge?
Ono tuwarumba mbogunga mwasiga antu omwe.
We would like to thank you, the technical committee, such that since you have come here.
Chotu yangaura gapati. Turangaura nyiga kuti inyiga yajeya. Ba magana manini makansalazi.
Our submission is on delimitation.
Imawadi agomena ibantu bajeya nini twabura mbo tutyani mbobe enda bantu imawadi agomena.
Our words are too vast. We want them to be delimited so that people easily access their readers.
Ama constituency gwendia guteti bantu gaba siga monse mumabali eno barasiga rusumpo gotabwe no rutyani no ruyagumbere rusumpo rafidira.
We also want our constituents to be delimited so that development will be shared equally across our constituents.
Tuyanda kutijigwa zamuge kambo joma jagomena. Tuyanda kuteti nini masena gomene alimu abantu bahure kujita kuteti rusumpo rutyani ruyagumbere.
It's our submission that our wards and constituencies should be delimited so that we we will access more development in our areas.
kambo ijindi no twagatanda muguwa twagamba kuti tuyanda kuyokaraga botu.
When we chased our colonial masters, it was our quest to have development.
Eno rusumpugo kunyina no ruba pesi muguwa twagamutanda hena asun tujiri mu muguwa.
Development has not reached the level we want. The question is, are we still being colonized?
Eno cho tuyanda we kuti rusumpugo rwe gundi gumbere.
What we want is merely development.
Chandivotela kambo ndali jana ndati mbubo imuga intu tulayandiga muhulumende kuhumbwa awali hijitwa ikuteta swega tusangana.
I was upset when I looked around. I saw most of them are men. But when I discovered that a chair is a woman, I was relieved. And joy came on my face. Because in everything that is done in governance, women must be included.
Imuga intu, tobaga intu, kamuturanganya swebotu hure, mugubamba imirao, imugulera, twajeya, imuga intu uraruse. Imuga intunguranga bana, imuga intunguranga bamarema, muga intunguranga majembere, nkambo, iga misiga njaga inda, wagaji mwambo jijisa, ponya jira mujisa kubona umura penga, amutu gwashe, na gulimura umbunga wabambwa, au bambwe, nkambo jino jindi kuti twamba kuti eti balibonga eba magaintu ndiza ngu a 20% tatusigi pesi hagali wonka mugunzo hagali wamba kuti akube 50-50 eyo 50-50 yatagajitiga ayenota inajitiga.
My submission is on the inclusion of women in governance. A woman is a kind-hearted person because she understands from the delivery point of view, she understands what it means to take care of the children, the disabled. When it comes to governance, you find women are very few in the positions of influence. It's our request now, include women in governance. There was a pronouncement that we should have 50-50 representation, but up to date, this has not been actualized. It's our plea that if there is a way, let that way be actualized so that we improve on the number of women representation at all levels of representation.
Mebo ndimejeni hangoma. Nalyangu lyagalo ndali jeni java nindawatwa ndategwa jeni hangoma nindajeli musimbi mulimo wangu ngwindakisi ndali mwagishini wali unga babola bagaunda bankumbula tiswe twali mwagishini kubenuka buyana.
During the colonial masters, when Kaundas used to visit us, I was in the action group. We were the one dancing, receiving our leaders. I was in the action group.
Ino nindaga watwa mulumangu naga ndeta mujoma. Imulimo wangu ngwindaberega bandisa yagu bucharedi.
When I was married and we came to Choma, I was chosen to be a chair lady here.
Ndiswe twagali kupa mapoloti. Sunano masubanda kambwa buchana kwamba oti mapoloti basambala buya.
We were giving plots then, but today I'm shocked because plots nowadays they are selling.
Alimbigambo ke gambwa ka gumagana amakilabu. Inganda yeya bamama benu bamama besu bamugajiruba. Wali ngunga twagali ngunka kujipatela kuya kubereka bahineso nkwale.
During the Chiruba regime, I remember the wife of our former president, late President Chiruba, We used to go to work freely at the hospital. Our names are there.
Onome kulomba kwangu kwa kuti ndomba kwamba kuti vamake into abaloba ule munganda ya milawo.
My submission is this. My request is for women. The number of women in parliament should be increased.
Alimwigambo kalenganya nkaga kawuti ulajana mwana watola kosi wamania ukele biyota belege abe musankwa watola kosi wamania ukele biyota belege ndisa musimbi wataliga kujitamende ndisa musankwa wataliga kuile kunywa bugogo ndomba wamba kuti mbuli baba bada batola makosi kabahambana witwa kujanilwa nchito.
My other submission is our children who finish courses or college, they should be considered to be recruited early to restrain them from illegal or bad vices, be it a lady or a boy.
Inomeba kwa jindano mulimo ngwekisindi publicity ufuto mfaida kuliva mwanga ano mpesi mpira ndarumba no bantu bamwameleza.
I'm a publicity chair for the freedom fighters, and this is my submission, and I conclude here. Thank you.
Mebo hinali yangu ndime ana hamugoma freedom fighter ndendi twakatanda muguwa ndendime ntwakavota ya vote ya kutangu na kumatalikiro.
I'm Anna Hamugoma, the freedom fighter. We are the first voters for the first election.
Mulimo wangu mu freedom fighter ndime vice secretary Choma.
From the freedom fighters group, I'm the vice secretary in Choma district.
Igambo nkindabora gwamba ulasunu kama mayors ama councillors.
My submission is on mayors and councillors.
So gambo keje sinkawuti bama mayor jindi bajesi 2 term of office bajesi myaka yobire na muma office awo.
My submission is on the mayor, who have a limit of 2 terms.
Abama councillors abalo bajesi 2 terms in office. Enoni twagamba kuti buli mulawo oyo ngotweredde kuti nango tweredde kuti toba na Zambia ujinchululwe igwinda mu bupampu na mu busongo bwa president besu abamwe benyina mbo baberegalimu bagayeya kuti eyisi ya Zambia atusole kujinchulula igutegwa ndiza zimwizi ya hitendi gabotu hirataliga bya gumbere.
Because of the intellectual capacity of our president, he thought it wise that let us revise our constitution, let us amend our constitution, so that where issues are not being done correctly, they can be done correctly. And we thank the president, because of his wisdom, for putting up this committee to work on amending the constitution.
So mebo mubutumbu bwangu ndamba kuti oyo mulawo mbuli freedom fighter ndiru tambwide ali mwindira yandisisha ukuthi agaga mu parliament mbonya mbulimbo twamba ura au bazwidirire kutegwa tubone rusumpugo mu Zambia we.
I support the amendments so that we see development in Zambia. I accept this process wholeheartedly.
Mebo ihina lyangu ndime stand for this ya Baba Malambo. Igurumba wangu ndipa ku council itulanga mujoma mbulimbu itwenderezya.
I would like to thank our local authority, the way it's governing us.
I council ilitujisi amanzo bire.
We are working very well with our local authority
mugendereze mbulimbo ijisi.
in its governance.
Tulomba ibantu buyo bamwi bapebule mu mbuli ku council. Akulima mageti yazi akuba yali tatupebule mupe tulanya hankamba ati chakandi halakale chitachikwa ncheta ndime njemilawo njetu jisi tubana bamazubano ikusampula bamamama bamatata atubape ibulemu kambo bulemu bwakazwa kuli batata kuli bamama ono bamama kutitinda bapa bulemu abatata kukuti jangu gwine jiriko.
I would like to ask our youths, the current generation, to respect the local authority, in general, to respect adults, parents, because without respecting our parents, it's very difficult for us to live in harmony.
Mebo mpebele wanu ndarumba maningi kulindi nyeno nova kanso, ichemba njimwe tupai njieno. Twabora kuti tubambe twambo o tutonsa antomwe. Please, tupagurumba kupati kulindi nywe.
I would like to thank the local authority for allowing us to meet in this chamber.
Turumbaba permanent secretary, turumbaba DC, turumbaba bonse ibendere hajoma jino.
I would like to thank the permanent secretary and the district commissioner for this district.
Igurumba kwangu basa takuli kunjimaningi kuti ndisoeji ndi mpashonto byo majinginda GC mahonto ngakurumba government ngakurumba council ngakurumba abantu babereka mu council bule mumbo batupa ku market nebo ndendi mesekisheni chairman wa market makalanguzo market.
I would like to thank the government. I would like to thank the local authority. I'm the chairman at the market there for the allocations, for the time they have given us to operate in the market.
Tulirumbi demaningi kuli nyonse no matata no muli kumbero kunkambo ndijeni muturanga. Iswe boyo tobantu tobana bana tobanguta togwe bulemu. Ndamana ndibora kutoka nambuli batata bakede waworo bamama baya. Pese kandi yikuti mbubandiranga mujoma. Mbubandi pedeji moja kuti kandiri muntu. No tatuye izonse zyo no bantu bamwamipe. Bana mbotu yara suno baratutukana kutusebanya. Agorwa bugogozo chita chintu munsiri yako. Pese mwana nguwa kongo wakahala. Igurumba kwangu ndarumba igundipaka indika honto kuti ndibandike.
A warm good afternoon. We've just come to the end of the first session, which was the presentation or the submissions that were being made by the freedom fighters. There we did see a number of freedom fighters make their submissions to the amendment of the Constitution, and we also saw the general public coming in with their submissions. Yes, the turnout here at the council chamber is overwhelming, and we can also see the technical committee making their way for the lunch break to resume sittings at 14:30 hours again. Yes, we had a very successful morning, very interesting submissions, and it was a very interactive session, as we could see the technical committee engaging the people who are making submissions just to get clarity on what they mean on the different submissions. We had a long morning, and we hope to have another beautiful, successful afternoon. The general public made their submissions, but they are not yet done, and they've been requested to hold on just for a few minutes for the technical committee to have a healthy break, after which we shall be continuing with the submissions from the technical committee. We also have other stakeholders such as CSOs that are waiting to make their submissions. We also have the different heads of government departments and parastatals also waiting to make their submissions. Interestingly, actually, the team leader for the technical committee indicated that if it means people staying awake the entire night, they are willing to accommodate as many submissions as possible. Actually, the turnout we have seen here today just shows how much people are eager to make contributions to this constitution amendment process, and the availability of the technical committee to stay on as long as it is possible shows that the committee is committed to ensuring that the submissions are made by as many people as possible in order for the constitution to have the aspirations of all Zambians. So we will be continuing with the highlights, and we will give you more in the afternoon as members of the public and indeed other stakeholders continue to make their submissions. Good afternoon.